Let's make some Chinese scallion pancakes. Welcome back to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and we are going to make the most delicious little Chinese scallion pancakes. Essentially like little flatbreads that are loaded with scallions. So we're going to jump right in. I have a half a cup here of white quinoa that I've already soaked for 3 hours and drained and rinsed. So we're going to put that here in our blender cup. And this is we're just going to blend this with our NutriBullet. Any blender will do. Then I have a tablespoon of sesame seeds, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of miso paste, and this is the light or white miso paste, and 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, and 2/3 of a cup of really hot water, not boiling, but really hot water. And then we're just going to blend this until it's really smooth and the graininess of the quinoa is completely gone. Okay, and now you just want to get a medium-sized mixing bowl and pour all of that in here. And then we have a tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of flaxseed or flaxseed meal. And then we're just going to stir this. And as you stir it, you'll see what happens. It's going to start to thicken up a bit. And that's exactly what we want to happen, because this batter is a little bit too liquidy, and that flaxseed is what's going to keep it all kind of glued together, and it's going to be kind of chewy. It's going to make the dough kind of chewy. Because this is a gluten-free, typically this recipe would be made with just regular white flour. So we're making this much more healthy. And this recipe is also, it's the #2 winning vote from our supporting members, from their vote. And the #1 for the month was the recipe from last week, our scrambled eggs. And then I have about a cup of just sliced scallions. We're going to throw those in there and just stir them in, you know, once your batter gets a little bit thicker. Okay, now I'm going to just set this here, and I'm going to get out my burner, and then I'll show you how we're going to cook them. There's no denying the plant-based diet is a nutrient powerhouse, but did you know there are a handful of hard-to-get nutrients even well-crafted diets are often lacking? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why my daily health routine includes Complement Essential. Complement Essential contains the 8 critical nutrients lacking from most plant-based diets in dosages optimized specifically for us. Plus, Complement is completely transparent about ingredient sourcing and third-party testing, publishing the results directly on their website. As a special discount for our viewers, just use code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save 15% off of your order. Beans are an essential part of a whole food plant-based diet and should feature prominently in our daily menu. We love finding new and convenient ways to get our servings in. Wellbean is a tasty and wholesome way to get half a serving of beans in every bar. Wellbean bars are vegan and gluten-free, with no preservatives and no added salt, sugar, or oil. Each bar is made only from an assortment of beans, fruits, nuts, and seeds. As a special deal for our viewers, follow the link in the description and use the code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save $5 off a variety pack, because life is better with beans. Alrighty, so we are ready to cook. I've got my carbon steel pan here. You could also do it on a nonstick, but this is just my way of not using nonstick. So this will make 4 small little pancakes. You can make 1 big one too, but I like to make them a little bit smaller so they're more individual sized cakes. And I'm just going to do a couple at a time, just so I have plenty of room to move around. So that's about half. And then you want to kind of spread it around a little bit, because the batter's so thick, you want these to be a little bit thinner than that. So you have to press it down. It doesn't ooze out like a pancake batter would. Okay, so now we're gonna wait. And I've got my pan on high. And when you'll know they're ready to flip When it looks kind of dry throughout the mixture, I'll show you what that looks like when we're ready to flip. Okay, we're ready to flip. If you want to come in and take a look to see what this looks like when you're ready to flip them. Okay, just like that. And I just lightly press down just a little bit and we'll finish cooking those. It'll take, you know, anywhere from a minute to, yeah, probably about a minute to cook the other side. And you can check at this point, it's easy to get them off the griddle and see if the underside is done. They do feel a little bit gummy before they're completely finished. As they sit and cool 5 or 10 minutes, they get thicker and thicker. So, all right, I'm gonna clear this out, finish making these 2 other pancakes, and then I'll show you a delicious little dip that you can make with these. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of free printable recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook series, are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting membership community. So if you love our recipes, I invite you to join us on our mission to make plant-based cooking easy, and follow the link in the description to become a supporting member today. Okay, let's get back to the show. All right, so let's make this delicious little dipping sauce. So I've got 2 little dates. If you're using medjool, I would just use 1 or maybe half of a medjool, depending on the size. Then I have 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar, 1 teaspoon of low sodium tamari, 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds, 2 tablespoons of water, and then just a little sprinkling of red pepper flakes. And that's completely up to you how spicy you want this sauce to be. So you can always add more red pepper flakes later if you want it to be spicier. So we're just gonna blend this up until that date is completely pulverized. Okay, and then you can just use one of your cute little pinch pots here as your container for dipping. And then you can add a few of the little scallions that you have left just to make it look nice and add a little bit of an oniony flavor to that. All right, I'm gonna go grab a plate and I'll meet you at the table for a taste. Okay, let's dig in. They're not always the prettiest looking little things, but boy, the flavor is gonna wow you. And these would go great maybe with my broccoli and tofu stir fry. And I'll give you a link in the details below to that recipe. But they're also really good by themselves. They're really good by themselves, but with that sauce, so good. All right, I'll meet you back here next week for another great recipe.